that. What we were doing is we went out and we asked people in the community, throughout the community, we asked them what are the great things about Norfolk today, trying to keep in mind what are the great things that we want to still be in Norfolk in 50, 80, 100 years from now. And we got quite a lot of good input about what the great things are today. We didn't get that future think. I was kind of surprised we didn't get Jetsons or anything like that. But.
Okay, so was Norfolk Perspective on the list? Don't answer. I guess
yes,
not.
yes.
But no, but connectivity and communication was the one.
Yes, absolutely. One of the big things that was highlighted by the community was the idea that people should be able to interact. And we heard a lot about the typical places that you would think of as the assets. The locations were a lot of the same places. Think the zoo, the Botanical Gardens, Town Point Park. But what we asked,
those big public spaces.
But what we asked in addition to that was, it wasn't just what are the places, but why are they the places? And one of the reasons why those were the places was those are the places where people can interact. Those are the places where people can interact with nature, they can interact with each other, they can interact with the city as a whole.
Okay. Now, when they talk to interaction though, I mean, are they talking about stepping out on the sidewalk? Or are they talking about doing it on their phones?
I think it's all of that. I think, and so much of it is just the accidental interactions. Just walking through a crowded space and you might meet someone you don't see every day. You might meet someone new. It's anything. It could be digital interaction. It could be any of those things.
Okay. You know, I'm amazed when I get into work sometimes, somebody will call and say, hey, I just saw you driving down Granby Street. But then if you take it the next step and you're on your bike, there's the chance that you can pull over and talk to that guy that's jogging down the sidewalk. Is that the kind of thing they talked about?
Well, that's what we kept hearing, is how great Norfolk was, because it's a walkable, bikeable place. It's easy to get around. There's a lot of options for getting around, places where you can go and interact, and those accidental interactions were really common in a city like Norfolk.
Any surprises?
You know, the biggest surprise we had from the asset mapping was one of the best assets identified over and over and over again was the water. Was Norfolk's greatest asset is the water. What we didn't get a lot of was places, specific places where you could interact with the water. So from the planner's perspective, that's one of those things that we probably need to do better about, is finding ways that we can interact with the water, not just, everyone recognizes that water is a great thing in Norfolk, but we don't have a whole lot of ways.
So the idea that we've got 144 miles of shoreline with 7.5 miles of that being Sandy Beach.
And honestly, not very many people actually identified the beach, as the Ocean View beaches, as an asset in the city. And maybe that's something that we should really be figuring out how we can address.
Well, and you're kind of touching into the next step, because quite often when we deal with projects in that, what you do today, the ripple effect is going to be in 20 years. So really now is the time to start planning. So what's the next step in meetings?
So the next step is starting in May, we are going to be going back out into the community, and we're going to start asking people to identify what they want to see in the future, what they want to see in Norfolk. And really typically what we do in planning is we look 10, 20 years in the future. What we want to do is we want to ask people to look very far. 2100 is just a round number, but we're looking 80, 100 years out in the future. And there's a couple of reasons we want people to do that. One is just you can separate yourself from it and you're not so worried about my house. You can think more about the city as a whole. But also there are just some big picture changes, and they're slow changes. One of the things we keep talking about, sea level rise, and that's an inch every couple of years. It's a very slow rate, but over 100 years it might be 3 feet.
Right.
We talk about population growth. We may grow a couple thousand here and there every year, but over the next 80 years that might be 60,000 new residents in the city of Norfolk. So if we look way out, we can really start to think big picture.
So starting in May, have a chance to come to the table and talk, but there's also going to be that connectivity through electronics too.
Absolutely. And we're still thinking out exactly how we want to do that, but we want to, at this point, drive everyone to our website, which is norfolk.gov/vision2100. With the asset mapping, we did a great survey, got great responses. We want to take that to the next step with the visioning. We really want to get everybody's interaction, and we really want to do whatever we can to make sure that we get the good input and people have fun as part of this.
Well, I got some ideas, so I'll meet with you.
Great.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, guess what? Books and brew go together, but in a library? Stay tuned.